The rhythm of life.
Dear friends, let's move on to the introduction to the Beatitude. See, this particular introduction has certain verbs in it, and God is calling us to reflect on that. A short introduction, but an in depth of matter can be relied on or meditate upon. My dear friends, when we begin this particular passage, Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 1 and 2 being the introduction, it says some 5 or 6 things. The first is when Jesus saw the crowds. See, seeing means he is having an oversight on everything. When God created the universe, he first saw that there was chaos, and then he set aside the water and the land appeared. Each day, evening came and morning came, and it was very good because God saw that it was good. When he created man, the scripture says that it was very good. So Jesus is looking at the crowd. The second is he went up the mountain. What is this going up to the mountain? And what is this mountain is all about? Mountain is a meeting place of God. In the Old Testament, we see Moses meeting God on the mountain. And in the New Testament, we see Jesus meeting God whenever he found time. He went to an isolated place that was mountain and he prayed. When he chose his disciples, he was on the mountain. When he wants to address this sermon, he is on the mountain. When he is supposed to be transfigured, he is on the mountain. When he wants to give himself to all of us, he is on the Mount Calvary. Finally, he is also on the mountain to ascend back to heaven. So, Matthew is specifying the Sermon on the Mount, whereas Luke will be specifying it as a sermon on the plain. The third word is he went up. It took effort for Jesus to go up. After which he sat down. Sitting and speaking to the disciples means a rabbi will take up the position of authority, sitting and teaching. And Jesus is proving himself to be an authoritative person going to give something important. Then we have his disciples came to him. If I have to listen to Jesus like one of his disciples, I also must make an effort to climb up and go to the place where Jesus is. Then he began to speak. So something important is going to come, and taught them. My dear friends, just a short introduction, but an in-depth of meaning for which we will have our lifetime to follow these words in our life. Let's be blessed. Let's follow it.